Don't trip.
Don't trip.
Don't trip.
Don't even trip. We got you.
What's up, y'all? It's Don't Trip Podcast. You're on with your boy David, and today we got a very special guest for y'all, Miss Tatyana Joseph. So, you want to say hi to the people, give them a little wave or whatever?
I do want to say hi to the people. What's up?
Yeah. So she's so far I haven't had the chance to get to go drill her with questions or whatever, but she seems like a cool character. We gonna get a little bit of intro for this episode. Get to know her a little bit about her life goals, whatever aspirations, all that, and then we got the regular Don't Trip questions for you. We got the Don't Trip questions. So it's a fan-oriented show. So y'all send us questions. We ask people. We give our advice, the best advice we can. We always say, though, we're not professionals. We don't have our doctorates yet. We take it with a grain of salt. Y'all can comment whatever you want, but we're just real people giving real advice of what we think. All right? So don't be going too crazy. We got Simping or Pimping for y'all. The pickup lines. We know y'all love the pickup lines. So, oh, you see the face? Okay, if you're not watching, go watch now. She's ready for the pickup lines. All right, she's ready for it.
I'm ready to react to them because I can't hide my facial expression.
Perfect. This is exactly.
So you're gonna know how this goes.
This is exactly what you're looking for. I love it.
Okay.
And then I figured out the third segment for you. We're gonna do switcheroo. So all right. I'll explain that when we get there, actually. But then Tatyana got some questions for me, so she might throw them back at me. We gonna go back and forth with it. We're gonna try to get through as many questions as we can in like less than an hour, so don't take too much time. But if this is our longest episode, this is our longest episode. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Perfect. We can chat. I'm good at talking, and you seem. I mean, this is what you do for a living, so we got it.
We got y'all. Oh, you know that I don't know how much you've seen, but catchphrase. I'll say don't trip, and then you say we got you, then we get into the question. All right.
Don't trip, we got you. Cute. Okay, bet.
Something like that. Cool. So, actually, let's intro a little bit. Tell us a little about Tatyana. Like, what's the life of Tatyana talking about?
What's the life of Tatyana talking about? Should I start from like the OG days?
Like once you came out the womb, did you cry? What was it?
I was a crier, not gonna lie. Yeah, did come out crying, but that was because I knew how like dope my life was gonna be. Obviously,
tears of joy.
Yeah, obviously.
Tears of joy.
No, so I grew up in a military family. My dad's in the Navy, my mom's in the Navy. She's retired now. I used to move every 9 months all over the world, like, traveling. Well, I mean, I guess it wasn't really an adventure for me. It was just my life. But I grew up very much going somewhere new every 9 months and learning how to adapt and make friends. And I've always noticed I've been very just people oriented. Like, I just love helping people. I love being around my friends. I love being around my family. Nothing does it better than that. And I was just like, whatever I do with my life, man, it has to be something big. It has to be something with my people. It has to be something that I'm like touching other people with. And it's just, I mean, that is a very, very, very long story short.
That's dope.
That is extremely, I've lived in like, I'd say about 12 different places. I loved California, Rhode Island the best. I love life. We out here in these streets, shit go up and down, but we loving it regardless. Like it's literally just that, yeah.
Really be like that. Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling. We're forming a friendship, y'all. This is new right here. Okay, I also love entertaining. I like making people laugh. I like helping people, honestly. So this was a really good outlet to do that. I'm currently in med school, so I'm doing that, and I'm thinking about psych. So maybe I could bring this and actually answer people with real answers, like take it into the future with something like that.
So you can finally say, I actually am. I have a doctor in this, actually. I could be like, I don't want to hear what you got to say.
Exactly. You can't prove me wrong. Once I get the MD, it's over for y'all. I promise you. Like, it's over.
He's going to use that every day.
Actually, like, she's not lying. But, yeah, love God, love family. That's about it. So that's my 2 cents. We're gonna have to chop it up another time, get more into it. When did you start media and stuff? Like, what got you into that?
So I started about 3 years ago. Seriously, it was when I was 17.
Okay.
Oh wow. So yeah. It was when I was 17, just got out of high school, just got in my freshman year of college, just moved to LA because I didn't get into the colleges that I wanted to get into.
Okay.
So I was basically out there, and long story short, there was like this 6 months, 9 months before that when I was still in high school, and like our teachers were trying to give us all those pep talks before they send you out into the real world and stuff, where they pretend that, we're not terrified and we all are. And my school was really big on these motivational videos. Like, they were super big on just like playing motivational videos for us and trying to get us hyped up like that. And these motivational videos kept saying like, don't do what you don't love. You don't want to wake up in 30 years and be at a desk job that you never wanted to do and depressed with your life and realizing you never did anything you ever wanted to actually pursue because you didn't have to work hard enough for it.
That's true.
And I'm like, why would you play that for a bunch of kids that are about to graduate and picked a bunch of majors that they don't even know they want to take? Like, so I don't know, those things just hit me a lot harder, and I was just like, I don't want to go to school for what I'm going to school for, and the only passion I have is acting, but I've never had the balls to go for it, so it's either I have it now or it never happens. So I started getting to acting, started getting to backstage as soon as I turned 18, so that because I was a baby, I was a freshman in college and I was 17, so like as soon as I turned 18, I was like, okay, backstage, audition, and like my model friends, whatever they could bring me to, like anything I could put my hands on, I was like, give it to me now, I'll hop on it. I started skipping all my classes and started telling my professors I was going to be a movie star, so they shouldn't see me anymore. And my parents don't know that. But,
your parents don't know that is crazy?
Well, they know it now. They didn't know it when it was happening. They definitely thought I was in class and making time for auditions after.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not what happened. I was definitely... Yeah, it wasn't playing. It's just I knew nothing that I wanted to do with my life was in those classrooms. Yeah. And even in college, like the first day of college, they said they played those exact same motivational videos saying, do you want to be depressed in 20 years with your job? No? Well, figure it out. And then I was just sitting there like, I remember having this presentation and the teacher was like, okay, tell us about you. Come to the class and just talk. And I was like, I'm going to be famous.
Facts.
And it's going to do anything other than be right here because I cannot do this and I will cry if I have to be here. And everyone was like, oh. And then I, kid you not, dropped out like 2 weeks later.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so cool though because everyone on campus knew that was my goal. Like, I'm a super social person. I was going out all the time. I was making friends all the time. But they just always saw me heading to my car to whatever else I had to do instead of heading to class. So... long story short, like I was saying, even though it's not really a long story short, I started doing all those auditions, started doing all the behind the scenes stuff. And once I realized that girls were getting the parts over me because of their followers, I started to take social media seriously because I saw it as a stepping stone to getting to my acting and modeling goals. And then I started realizing that whatever I put on social media has to be true to me because I'm about to start advertising it to the entire world and I want it to be bigger than what it is. And then I just started to think, like, I want to take this seriously if I do it at all. So let's just do it right from the jump.
I like that.
And then everything that I put into it just ended up being everything I love to do.
Yeah.
So it's just perfect.
That's cool. No, you was putting in work for real. You don't want, I'm not saying like you should play that for little kids all the time, but the commercial thing is right. Like, you don't want to be doing nothing that you don't love, or you don't want to look back and be like, oh, before I had all these wrinkles, I should have done this. Before I had all these whatever, I should have done this.
Exactly.
So when you like low-key, like now I'm seeing our podcast grow a little bit off Instagram and I'm like, what is this? So how did you feel like once you started getting a bunch of followers and stuff like that? Was it like, oh, I'm excited, I'm hyped, what's she finna do?
I'm one of those really hard workers that doesn't really see my success until it's very obviously successful. So I'd say I celebrated 10K, I celebrated 100K, and then after that, the only thing I celebrated was millions. If that makes sense.
That's cold. That sounds like you making bands. You said, okay, 10K, 100K, millions. I like that.
That's exactly how I thought about it.
Literally the same mindset. Like, we talked about 10K, we're like, all right, and then we said 10K. Next one's a million, next one's 100K. And it's just like, people always tell you you're famous when you have like maybe 100K followers. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're so famous. They'll say it when you have 15. They'll say it when you have 15. I'm like, listen, the goal is bigger than this. Exactly. If I'm not making a living, like a proper living off it, I don't consider myself famous. Like, I have to be able to live off this fame in order for me to be famous. So
I agree.
It's kind of crazy. But hey, that's dope. You making it out. You making it big, doing big things, Miss Tatyana.
I had to. I told my parents. I think when COVID started, that's when I officially like dropped out. When COVID like started. You remember that first 2 weeks, everyone was like, "Yay, no school," and then it ended up being 2 years. Yeah. So when that happened, I told them, I want to pursue this. School kind of sucks right now. The world kind of seems like it's going crazy. Should I drop out now and give it a try? And then I made a deal with them. I said, if I could show you in a year that I can make money off of this, then I don't have to go back to college next semester.
Okay.
And that was an also huge like motivating force to that, because I had to show them my military foreign parents that I wanted to drop out of college and be an actor. I'm Trinidadian, so I'm Trinidadian and Indian, like Asian Indian, and then African American.
Okay, I lived in Trinidad when I was little. That's cool.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember it. I was like 2, but
my
parents were moving around too. Oh yeah. Look at this small world.
That's dope.
I feel that because the like immigrant or out of country parents. That's a discussion for another day.
Definitely, that's a whole different podcast.
That's a whole different podcast. I like that. Okay, hey, that's dope. I actually have so many questions that I just want to go off, but I'm gonna try to get to the show, and then if at the end we can chop it up. We can chop it up.
Bet.
All right. So remember the catchphrase? You got it. Don't trip.
We got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. Okay, I got it. Yep. Sorry.
All right. First question is, that's kind of funny. Okay, what are some traits or habits that guys do that girls find attractive? Don't trip.
We got it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. So I kind of wrote a couple things down, but I'm gonna stick with the biggest that I think is like hands down what we all really need at the end of the day. When you're looking for a serious romantic partner, or even like a regular like hookup, communication is always like the biggest thing. And it sounds so corny, but it is. Like, they don't understand. You could unlock pretty much anything if you were just being straight from the jump. There's a lot of women who, I mean, literally would be down for friends with benefits type situations. Mm-hmm. If you had told them from the beginning, I have no actual intention of being with you. Do you want to do this instead? And some people would actually rather do that than be duped, you know?
That's true.
So it's like, if you knew how to communicate your emotions like that, or even from the jump, just say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Don't know if you're the one either, want to find out. Like, there's so many different ways that words could set people up for success, even if they didn't want to be together. And it would just flow out. But that's not just men. Like, women could do that too. But it's like communication and knowing how to say what you have to say without being scared to say it is it.
That's dope. That's a very good point, because it's just like, I think guys are scared though, because there are girls that once you say that, they're like, that's it, deuces. But I feel like you got to be able to take that chance and it not be selfish with it, because guys are selfish. They're like, okay, I could lie to her, and then I'll get more emotionally attached, and then she'll find out eventually. Mm-hmm. But if you communicate, you could find a girl that is actually like, you won't have to deal with all the toxicity, all the back and forth, all the stuff that
all of that. Like, it's, I mean, I don't want to say it's so simple, but there's been guys that have approached me before that have been like, oh yeah, you're cute, I'm into it, what's up? Like, what's up? One time at a gym, this dude came up to me like that. I knew he was checking me out. I was like, okay, what up?
What's that?
He comes up. I kid you not, within the first 5 minutes, he starts talking about how he doesn't believe in monogamous relationships, and that he only believes in poly relationships, and that's all he's selling. And I was like, per king to you. Fun fact about me though, I absolutely cannot. So it's just like things like that. That literally was such a simple interaction, and I was able to appreciate what you do from a distance and continue on about my business without you pretending like, oh yeah, no, I'm trying to make you the only girl for me. When you know you're literally not, you're not trying to do that. So it's like stuff like that. You could literally, now whenever I see that guy at the gym, I wave, and it's like, what's up, bro? Because it's like, that was just cool. If you do all the play stuff, now you got to go find a new gym because I'm at the gym and you did dumb shit and you doing silly stuff. So it's like little things like that. And especially with relationships, whenever you're trying to like build genuine ones, that'll save all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you find it attractive when a guy's just like open communication type.
When he knows what's in his brain and is able to put it into words so that other people can understand him. Like, that is key communication.
Okay, I like that. Hey, communication is key. We always say this. It's difficult, but it's hard. But it's just a hump you got to get over.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's something for everybody. It's definitely not just dudes either. Like for sure, I know a lot of girls. I have a lot of friends that have come to me and been like, "Yo, teach me how," and I'm like, "Here's how," and they just there's something in their brain that does not put it together until one random month, 2 years later, and all of a sudden they know how to say everything they need to say. So you just have to be willing to really work on it and see yourself and like reflect and then just make it happen. It's like any other job, any other project, you gotta just work for it.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So communication is not only helps the relationship, it's attractive, fellas. So make and that's I had it. We was on another episode, and the girls were talking about what guys like nowadays lack, and they
Okay.
said it was emotional intelligence. So I
Yeah.
feel like it might be like it's not even that they lack it; they just don't know how to communicate it. You feel me? Like they think that stuff, but it's just like, how do I say this
Exactly.
without
And they just
sounding?
don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
I
hard.
mean,
to
how
speak
would
into
you
it.
say you have learned to communicate over the years? Because you have a podcast, so obviously you're good
Yes.
at communicating to a certain
Yes.
extent. But like
To a
you
certain
see how people struggle with it.
Yeah. No, it's easier. Like not easier, but for me, I try to put myself in the podcast shoes. Like, so if I was giving advice to myself, or if I had to tell myself something, how would I approach this, and
Right.
how would I want it to be handled?
Yeah.
But emotional intelligence wise, shoot, I be bottling my stuff up. No cap. I'm a bad. My stuff be in a bottle. I'm keeping my stuff to myself. Like, I don't know. It's hard. It's just hard. It's hard out here, man. It's
What do
tough.
you think? I mean, not trying to make this about you, of course, unless you
No.
want it to be, but like,
Go stupid.
but why do you think that is? Like, would you say that at some point you should have been able to admit that to yourself and like find a way to figure that out, or you think over the years you've been figuring it out for yourself because you've been trying?
Yeah, I think it's more of like an over the years thing. I think it was definitely more rooted in like societal toxic masculinity type. Like
Yeah.
growing up, I was the oldest. I had to guard my siblings. I had to do whatever, and it's just like if I show weakness, if I show any sort of emotion, people can take advantage of that. People, not only I'm gonna get hurt, but the people under me finna get hurt. So it's like I gotta protect me, gotta protect my people. But like as I got older, I realized like if I'm cutting out people, there's got to be some people that I have that emotional attachment with, and it's hard.
Right.
Like after growing after that, it's like, okay, so how do I communicate this now? Like I've
Yeah.
been doing this for so long. How do I speak it into existence type thing?
Mhm.
But it's just something like you got to work on. Honestly, if you care about someone, especially, like you got to be able to, or they're just gonna be in the dark. So
Yeah, and the caring about someone is key to that. Like, I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of people want to say they care about people and they know they don't. Because if you did, you really wouldn't like struggle trying to figure out how you're going to make this work. Like, you're going to figure out a way to make it work if you really want to make it work.
that's facts. Or at least communicate a way to like, if it's not gonna work, communicate it to a point where both of you are understanding that it's not gonna work. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways of communicating though. I just know that for some reason, once you figure out what vibration you're on by yourself, it'll be easy for you to vibrate with other people on the same level. So it's like figure it out within, so you can figure out the rest.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like that. Figure it out within, y'all. Like figure it out, and then take it to other people.
Yeah,
Communication.
exactly. It's just like, I mean, no, yeah, self-reflection before getting into the dating field, that'll help you save a lot of time.
It will. It definitely will.
Help you save a lot of karma too.
Save a lot of what?
Karma. So karma don't
Karma.
have to come back and get your ass because she gonna find you.
Karma. What if you do? What if you play a girl?
Yeah,
play
if
a
you
girl?
if you just know you dead wrong.
Oh,
if you just
karma's
know
gonna
you
come
dead
back.
wrong, karma gonna get your ass. It's simple.
Okay. Wait, I don't believe in karma, honestly. So like karma's just bad stuff happening because you did bad things?
I think karma is teaching you lessons that you did not get the first time and you keep missing, but in the only way that is gonna make you understand it.
Okay.
Because I feel like for some people, they can have the answer and have some things showing them things right in front of them, and they're not going to get it until the whole world's against them, and they have to. So I believe that's what that happens with sometimes. I don't think it's directly like, bad deed, you bad habit. Like, it's, sometimes it's 20 years later, like, so you never know, but stuff like that, yeah.
So you kind of believe that you wouldn't really take, this sounds like a Batman thing, but like vengeance on somebody.
Oh,
like,
no, that's someone else's job.
Okay.
No,
That's
my
the
my
universe's job,
main exactly. No,
Okay.
I've actually tried. Don't get me wrong. Like I've tried.
Oh,
I've tried to be vengeful.
okay.
I've tried to, think of little revenge plots, and the thing is, I don't have to try because if I wanted to be like that, we could.
Okay.
I just don't think that that's ever going to help anyone. Like I feel like at the end of the day, showing energy to something that is wrong and dirty is just going to put dirt on you, if that makes sense.
That makes
Like
sense.
I'm definitely not the type
Sound like you was about to drop a. Mhm.
I'm not gonna say no like real juice for real, no. But I'm just saying I'm not the type to key a car. I'm not the type to, I don't know, put sparkles all in your floor type shit. Have you heard all those creative ways to get
definitely.
back
Like
to
put
that?
your
I feel like
toothbrush in the
those are
toilet type.
yeah, I feel like those are things you do when you're just like angry and like you low key just want a reaction. Whenever things happen to me, I don't want a reaction. I want you to know that you will never have this power again, and I will never let you feel power again. And that's like sounds really dramatic too, but it's like I take that by ghosting. I take that by literally allowing people to see you for who you are, and I take that just because like I'll have a conversation with you and just make it seem like, this is why your mother left you, and I'm just
Wow. Wow. It'd be like
but
that.
then, yeah, no, literally, it's like if you want to have the conversation after you do bad stuff, I'm gonna tell you exactly who you are, and now you're gonna be sitting there for the next like few months trying to figure out how to fix it. So that's like type of stuff like that.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
respectable. I like it. Subtle but strong.
Yeah,
Subtle but strong. I like it.
exactly. And listen, you don't even have to worry about it if you just
It's the way
do
you're
good.
saying it, but it's so sweet. But I know that would hurt someone's soul. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Because there's good ways to go about things. I've literally broke things off of people in positive ways, and only thing they were allowed to say with me was, "Well, best of luck to you."
Best of luck to you.
Like it's like there's good ways to go about things, and people just be doing dumb shit sometimes.
Yeah, that's understandable. People, they be scared. They be scared.
Yeah, but what's sorry, well, go ahead.
No. You go ahead. I like you.
Oh, I was gonna say what was the next little vibe? Oh, because the question was, what do girls like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do girls find attractive that guys do or whatever?
Confidence is so huge. Confidence is ginormous. And I mean like real confidence. Not like, oh, walk in the room and I'm that guy. I'm the best guy in the room. I'm just that guy. Like, no, I mean the confidence that's I mean the confidence that's like so indisputable that you don't have to say anything or even check yourself in your own brain when you walk into a room because you just already have that instilled in yourself. But those are two different energies. Like girls can tell the fake confidence over time versus the real confidence.
I was about to, that was literally our next question. How do you be like, what's the difference between cocky and confidence? How do you guys tell? Because like when y'all describe it, it sounds like one guy walks in and another guy walks in and one guy has like a golden aura around him radiating confidence. Like, I don't understand how y'all tell the difference between confidence and cocky.
I don't think there's ever really a way to tell things off the bat, but time will always tell you exactly who a person is. Okay. And you, like, as someone who is confident is not going to do certain things or go about certain things or react to certain things a certain way. And someone who is not going to react. Everything they're gonna do is going to be like precise. It's gonna be what they believe. It's what they're gonna be, what they know is right to do. How they move is gonna be intentional. How they proceed with things is gonna be like powerful, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a better way to put that into words. It's not a golden aura. It's just if you've been with a guy for a month and you notice the last guy after a month started telling you to take things off your story and asking you why you're liking certain dudes' pictures and started asking you, why are you out with your friends until 1 a.m. even though you've been doing that for 6 months, that shows you that he was never truly a confident individual, or he's not confident in your ability to be loyal to him, which is even worse because why are you guys in a relationship if you can't trust them? Right? Versus a dude who's already very confident, he's never even going to question all that stuff. The only thing he's going to question is, no, he's not going to question it unless you give him a reason to doubt where you stand with him. Literally.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Literally.
So,
Then he's not going to be stupid, but he's not going to be, Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So is jealous like can a confident guy be jealous? You know what I'm saying?
I
So like a little bit of
I
jealousy.
think it's possible. Yeah, I think anyone
Okay.
can feel and experience jealousy. That's a very human emotion, and it's more territorial than anything, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
I think confidence is what determines how you deal with that jealousy. Like, if you feel that jealousy and you're able to say, I'm having a jealous moment. My partner literally lives with me and tells me she loves me 30 times a day, and I'm tripping. Versus,
I'm bugging.
yeah, exactly. Versus, okay, she said she's loved me for forever, but I kind of have these little voices in my head that are telling me no because what happened with that last girl, and what about that last time I was cheating and no one knew I was cheating, like, you letting all that in your head, that's literally just going to project out onto your partner with nothing that had to do with what they were doing actually, which is what usually messes people up, allowing those little thoughts to take power over your entire mind and make you do dumb stuff.
That's very true.
Yeah, because
So what when
go ahead.
No.
I was saying, a lot of times people don't really have like proof. They're just scared. They're just scared and
That's true.
worried and just would refuse for that to happen. And if they try to prevent it in any way, when really you should just be like, listen, unless the hard proof is right in front of you, you have to trust your partner until you're willing to not trust them anymore. Otherwise, y'all
That's
just gonna be
true.
miserable.
People really be making up stuff in their head, like a whole scenario, a whole situation, and not have the facts about it. Like that brings back the communication aspect. Like if you do have a little problem, obviously, I feel like if you ask your girl every single time she's out, like, what are you doing? Who are you with? Blah, blah, blah. Like, when are you coming home? Like, if she proves that to you the first couple of times or whatever, then that's just, you should take that and rock with it. But besides that, the other stuff is just in your head. It's like, oh, she's probably doing this. She's probably doing that. He probably doing this. He probably doing that. And it's.
No, even the communication comes to that, because even if you're able to sit down and say, like, why do I feel like this, instead of reacting on it, you could go to your partner and be like, listen, yesterday when that guy side hugged you, that shit kind of blew me. Oh my God. And then that's the type of shit you can say once you start opening those doors for communication. Like, just that.
Are you the type of girl to be like, if he says, if he holds the door for a girl and she says thank you, you finna be thank you? No, you're not that type of jealous. Because I can't. You can't even say you like someone's shoes nowadays without being, oh, I like your shoes.
No, I'm not, and I think that's because I really just tried hard not to. I wasn't allowed to date in high school, so I did a lot of outside looking in. Facts as hell. But no, yeah, I did a lot of outside looking in with like all my friends who had been dating since middle school, and that was just always something that I refused to allow to be like a part of things, because it used to piss me off so much. Like, I used to be a genuine regular friend to a lot of people, and a lot of people would cut me off in relationships just because their partner felt a certain way about something random. And I do think there are so many boundaries that can be set up and not crossed, and like can be worked on within a relationship per set those boundaries. But you know when someone is just tripping, bro. And a lot of times it really is that, because we're growing up and dating young and not even realizing how to function with our own emotions yet. And we're just throwing our emotions at other people when we turn 14. So that's just like something we do now. But
it's hard. Jumping into it is kind of crazy. But I mean, people learn from their lessons. Like you just said, I wasn't allowed to date either till high school or later. And it's just like, because we have like a different view on it. We kind of took time, looked from the inside out, but a lot of people are like, no, those situations helped us grow, helped us evolve, and all that stuff. So it's like, it's different. It's just different experiences.
Exactly. No, it really is different experiences. And that's why I never discredit people's emotions and stuff when it comes to things. Because a lot of times, if we really want to talk about it and get to the root of shit, it's your parents' fault. If we want to really talk about it, but like, not everyone wants to hear that. Like, oh, you think you're not ready to date because you need time to think? No, it's because you actually don't know what love is. And that's actually your home's fault. And I'm sorry to say that to you, but as soon as you figure out how to do that, the happier your life will be. No, people don't want to hear that. Sometimes, though, they do not want to hear that. So it's just one of those things, one of those hard parts about life where it's just like, unless you're ready to wake up and see that, you're just going to keep hurting other people around you type stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Got to come to that realization. You got to Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of hurting that can go on. I'm not gonna cut to you.
I was about to say,
Guys
it looks
be
like you're
guys.
reminiscing, sir.
There's been times back in the
He
day.
said throwback.
Throwback. Wow, not the thought bubble. Okay, respectable.
No,
I like
yeah.
that. Okay. Let's get this one more question and we'll try pick up lines and pick it up
Bet,
again.
bet,
All right.
bet, bet.
So this question is, do girls know when they've been added to a guy's roster? Don't trip.
Roster. We got it. I guess not.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not. I've never asked.
No?
Wow, that's an interesting question. Do we know?
Yeah.
I mean, we can definitely tell when you're into us. We can never tell. Actually, no, that's a lie. Oh, my bad. We can definitely tell when you're interested, when you're intrigued, when you're, slightly there a little bit. We can tell when you're not 100, and then we could tell when you are 100%, 110% for us. So I'd say that's, the saying like, oh, you will know a man wants you because he will come and get you and you do not have to worry about nothing else. He's going to make it happen. Yeah. Once women go through those two experiences that don't do that and then have that experience that does, they're sitting there like, I'm a dummy. Is this what this is supposed to do? Because this is not what I did the first 3 times, and maybe that's where it went wrong. So I think there's a way to know, but it always involves you being real with yourself. Like, unless you're gonna be real with yourself, you're not. Because if you're sitting there and you're just thinking, oh, I like him so much, and he's so hot, and he does me so good, and then you're not gonna think about the actual pros and cons of whatever list you're creating. Unless you're able to really say, like, he has made XYZ promises and statements and he's owned up to all of them. And every time he takes me out, he makes me feel like the prettiest girl in the world. That is like, unless it's that, it's not the other things. So it's one of those things that makes sense. I don't know about roster though. That my eyes only shit, the private stories, that's a good indicator. Yeah. That's like a decent indicator.
if you on his private story?
If you're on someone's private story, they took the time to add you there. I'm not saying that means they want to do you, or I'm not saying that means they want to date you. That just means they are looking at you and you have caught their attention.
Tight.
Okay. Yeah, because you can never really tell. What would you say? What do you do when you add girls to your roster?
If a girl is being added to the roster, you're right. She's not getting 100. See, a real player though will give every girl 100%.
That's true.
So it's gonna be a little bit hard to tell. Like, bros be spending bags on bags on bags. Bros be spending time on time on time. Like out of the 24 hours a day, each one's getting 8. Like, he gonna figure out how to do that.
I've heard of it before.
But I think girls can tell you're on the roster if it isn't that. There's just like this, the special, like just a way a guy can make a girl feel special that like can't be faked. Like. It's that caring, like doing things out of the ordinary. You're sick. I want to get you some medicine. Like, I'm going to take care of you while you're sick, stuff like that. You need to cry. You need a shoulder to cry on. Like, digging deeper than just the superficial level of like, hey, you want to hang out? Hey, let's do this. Let's do this. Like, if they ask you some mind boggling questions, like, hey, like what in your childhood made you bubble? Like, why would it go? If you're not my girl that I want to be with or someone I actually want to pursue, why would
But you know what's crazy? Like, some people have purposely picked up the traits enough. You know what I would say? I knew some guys that would purposely pick up enough of each category to make a girl fall for him in order to just make it last throughout the day to the point where they make it seem like that is what they're trying to achieve. So they'll make sure to send a good morning. They'll make sure to chat a little bit throughout the day. Make sure maybe put in a little 30-minute FaceTime in there, figure out people make it work. And that's why I always just say you have to just be able to look at the actual pros and cons. Like, that's it. Because he could say a lot. We know they know how to talk. We know they know how to talk. We
silver tongue be going crazy.
It is as soon as whether or not they are able to actually make whatever they're saying happen. Like, immediately. Yeah. So I would say once I realized that was what I was able to tell. What is the other saying? They're like, if you have to ask yourself why you're there, if you have to ask yourself questions, if you have to ask yourself anything, then he's just like not it. Because if it was it, you would not have to ask yourself any questions.
Okay. Yeah. The questions, the what's it called? the if, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
It's just
like anything. All those times that he's maybe like flaked on something, or he said he was going to do something, and all of a sudden you see it slip his mind and you just brush it off. Like, those are the little things that oftentimes add up into whether or not he's going to go all the way for you.
And honestly, like you said, some guys will adjust or whatever. Some guys got 2 phones, some guys got 3 phones. But like being open with stuff, like he leaves his phone out, he blah 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 blah. Like, he's not afraid for you to be slide at any time. All that stuff, I think, is a good indicator that like he's not worried about being caught up. He's not worried about you catching the wrong thing on his phone. He's not worried about all that stuff. But like you said, there are some
creative. They're creative, and the thing is, like, at the end of the day, shit, like, that's what you want to do. Like, you're definitely gonna find a way to do it. But that's why whenever I talk to my friends, I've been saying this for years. I've been saying it on my lives for years. Whenever people, you know, when you're just on live and like there are always those random viewers that all of a sudden want to vent, and then they're like, "Oh, my boyfriend of 4 years cheated on me," like randomly in the comments, and you're just reading the comment like, okay,
damn.
No. I genuinely believe, like, there's no way to know what someone's true intentions are going to be with you. Like, you have to first be real with yourself, be real with the situation, and then kind of just see how time goes. But if you're going, exactly, the biggest fear that people have is always being played, being done dirty, or being cheated on. You can't control any of those things because no one can make you look bad if you did not do anything bad to begin with. Someone can do wrong to you, and that's that, but no one can make you look bad or look sad. So period, point blank. I mean, of course they can make you look sad because people will feel bad for you, but it's like your power, remember that. And then on top of that, like you said, you can't predict the future. So if you're going to take a leap of faith with somebody, you just have to take it. That's why it doesn't matter if it's long distance, if it's right across the street, if you guys live together. People will cheat if they want to cheat. They're going to find a way. They're going to make it happen, and nothing's going to stop them. And people know this. And then whenever people don't want to cheat, they could be across the world from you and not cheat. Like, it doesn't matter. You really just have to give it all a leap of faith and then deal with it accordingly with whatever happens and be ready to deal with it.
And then
hope for the best.
Hope karma gets whoever.
Not hope. Karma gonna get them. They gonna get them. Yeah. But that's the other thing. Like, a lot of people forget that dating is supposed to be dating. Like, you're not supposed to end up with everyone you date. If you were meant to end up with the first person you dated, we'd be dating people that we met in elementary school. Like, we'd be doing a bunch of weird stuff with a bunch of weird people. Like, that doesn't happen either. You have to just
little JJ that gave you the gift on the playground.
The dude who literally gave people the ring band and said propose to me.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, of course some of those stories happen, but no, it's just you have to be willing and ready to just enter the dating game and experience and let all the hate or the hurts or the trauma go. Because if you keep reapplying all that old shit, it's just going to continue.
Back and forth. Speaking of, real quick, off topic-ish. You said we was talking about someone dropping a whole life story in your comments. This is something I was going to ask at the end, but as like a bigger person, I know a lot of people go straight to the comments. The comments are the best part of the video a lot of the time. So how do you ignore those comments that are rude or like just coming at you or like, because like even in our podcast, like we say stuff and there's always going to be someone who disagrees.
Right.
So how do you handle those comments, you know?
Truthfully, since the beginning of time, my parents have been telling me to F all that other stuff and don't care what other people say. So I do think that played a huge factor in my upbringing because they were very good pillars of do what makes you happy and only what makes you happy as long as what you're doing is good. So I always knew, I just always knew I was doing stuff for good reasons. Like, I was never hiding nothing. I was never going behind the scenes doing dirt on people. It was just me posting. So I never got a whole bunch of hate, and I do think that is because I prayed for it and manifested that. I literally used to write down in my journal, like, followers that only love and support me, all that hate stuff, they need to go somewhere else. Like, I used to write that down specifically. So I'm really happy and fortunate to not have a lot of that. But of course I have the stragglers. And genuinely, I don't care. It's very odd. I mean, the only time I care about negative comments is when it's about other people and I feel like it's going to hurt other people. Because I know for me, like, I'm not tripping, I'm not looking at it too hard, and I get hundreds of comments a day, and I kid you not, 99% of them are beautiful, wonderful, this like cute comments. So I'm really not paying attention to the 2 random ones. And honestly, there's not a lot of things people can really say about me. I think the worst comments I've gotten are like, whenever people see my body, they have something to say about my body because I don't have a BBL. Yeah. And we all know how that is. That's a whole different podcast for a whole different time.
We're going to talk about that.
It's a whole different day. But I get made fun of for that. And then they have this reoccurring joke that my love life is a little excessive, when in reality, a lot of people only see me when I'm trending, and my most popular videos happen to be videos with my friends that are attractive men. So it's like, and a lot of people forget this is a job. Like, this is like what I do for a living. I wake up every day and I'm like, okay, how do I entertain the people that have been loving me for the past 3 years? Like, what can I do? Yeah. And they also forget, like, a lot of times what they're requesting is things that other people have requested for me to do, things that my OG biggest supportive loving fan base have requested me to do, and it's just outside people looking in. So I feel like as long as you focus on the people that really matter, like literally nothing else matters. Because a lot of times the people who are paying attention, they're paying attention to the whole story, so they're moving with you. The people who are just outside looking in randomly, peeping over, they're just seeing random moments over the course of literal months, and then assuming that this is happening like day after day.
That's true. Yeah. I never thought about that one. The people that have been riding with you from the jump are the real people.
Exactly. It's just... No, there's some people that probably go on your page and actually purposely check your story every day, versus some people who are like, once a month, okay, I finally had time, let's go see what this guy's talking about because I haven't heard from him in a while, and now they have to go figure out all these new updates, and it's like, these aren't new updates, you're just a month late, bro. Like, this literally happened when it happened, and you just didn't see it. But yeah, I've also seen a lot of people tell their fan bases the truth, and it didn't matter, because people are always going to not see the story, not hear the full story, not care about the full story. Like, I have 5 million followers, and my posts don't get 5 million views every single time. Like, there's a small amount of that big population that is seeing everything, and only those people are able to follow the story because they've been reading each chapter. So
okay. They're missing the whole book. It's like they ripped out a page of the newspaper.
Exactly. You can really tell the difference. Like, if you look through my comments right now, I recently popped out, and like all the comments that have been with me and seen me struggle for the past 3 years are like feeling this as a freaking movement. They're like, oh my God, Tati is healed. She has found peace. Praise Jesus. Like that. What? Like, if you look at the comments, people are writing out paragraphs saying how happy they are for me because they saw a lot of what I shared with my journey, and they saw all the stuff I wasn't talking about either, because obviously I'm still a human being. So when I'm depressed and not posting for a while, you could tell I'm depressed and not posting for a while. So the people who are following and the people that matter, they're watching the whole thing. So don't worry about all that shit. It's really just that.
Hey, facts. All my guest stars, all you people getting up in the world, focus on the comments that help you out. Focus on the positive people, all that stuff. That's a little extra advice for y'all, because that's great advice, because comments be hurting sometimes, like sticks and stones, but words be hurting too. So it's like
the hurt.
Just focus on
the hurt. Would you say the hurt sometimes is a little on yourself though? Because I've noticed the only comments that ever actually hurt me are the comments that I think are slightly true in my own head.
Really?
Yeah, like whenever I get those comments about like my friends, about like my career that are kind of negative, I never hear them, because my confidence in like my face or my friends or my relationships or my career is like out here. Like, no one can talk to me about that. But I have noticed on an open moment, like a open with you moment, the podcast moment, that the only comments that hurt my feelings are when they talk about my body, because I grew up trying to be confident in myself. So when those random times where I show my body and it's like weirdness, I could tell the energy of it, and it's just odd to me. Because, you know, when you're, sitting there trying to work on yourself and you're just like, no, I'm like the shit because I'm the shit naturally. Like, I don't have to do nothing. Like, it's just that. Like, you're just that guy. You're her. That's it. You can say that. You can say that in the mirror as much as you want, like, of course, but you still have to deal with whatever thoughts you had in your brain 10 years ago, because those are the thoughts you're training yourself to cancel out.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
whenever you've been telling yourself your whole life you ain't got no yayas, you ain't got no hips, and then you post 10 videos a day that don't show your body, and then whenever you do show the body, people are like, yeah, you kind of fucking right.
Hey, you wasn't doing a lot.
Then I'm gonna sit there like, okay, so I'm seeing it, others are seeing it, I'm scared, I'm a little scared, it's fine, but then you have to be able to go in yourself and be like, this is social media. They literally look at Victoria's Secret models sometimes and tell them they're ugly. Like, it does not matter. Nothing matters. Perception is its own thing, beauty is its own thing, eye and the beholder, all that. Like, you just got to be able to say all that to yourself.
That's respectable. I like that. That's dope. Okay. I feel like I could just go. I hate having this structure because I like just talking. But like, anyway, okay. All right. So we got simping or pimping. Simping or pimping is a pickup like segment. So after I say the pickup line, simping is it like modern day simping and pimping is different. We're not pimping. We don't got the pimp canes. We're not walking around selling girls. Yeah, you feel me? Yeah. Like no pimp named Slickback. We're not like that. It's just you cool. Like that could work. You would get the number from that. You have a chance of getting the number, maybe even getting in there from that. Simping is like, it's not simping like how you simp over your girl or whatever. It's just something that wouldn't work, or it could be you're so soft that you look like a pillow that I just want to push over type thing. You feel me?
Okay.
Or just something that's bad, just bad.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna give specifics then. Or do you want me to just say simp, pimp, leave it?
I want you to go after I say the pickup line. I want you to give me a simping or pimping, and then talk it like why you think that. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Okay. So forewarning, I do smile at a lot of things.
Okay.
So that, but also, damn, I'm a softie. This might just work for me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not like very city girl energy.
Tight.
If you even have the gonads to approach me and come to me with a respectable line, that a lot of people don't do that. There's been several times like I've gone out and literally seen everyone look at me in my friend group and no one actually has any words to say anything. Scary. So all right, I'm ready.
You ready?
Simping or pimping.
All right, simping or pimping. Einstein once said nothing falls faster than the light bulb. Shoot, I messed up. Ready? Rewind. Go ahead. Einstein once said, nothing falls faster than light, but wait till he knows how fast I've fallen for you.
Like if we were in the club and this happened? I would think...
What you got?
I think that's... I would think that's...
Simping?
Delivery is a thing, but I think that's simping. Like if he delivered that after spending the entire night with me, talking to me in the booth, danced with me a little bit, bought me a drink, there is a possibility that line with the right delivery could be cute.
Okay.
But if that is the first thing you said to me and I just spun around and that's what you said, I'm telling my friends to get the taser ready. So
not that one. Hey, that's simping.
No, not that one.
I agree. That's not the one. It's not the one, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, wait. How about this one? All right.
Okay.
I got to complain to Spotify for not putting you on this week's hottest singles. This girl. What you got?
Simping. It's just like there's no need for the line, you know.
Okay.
Sometimes we really just want to hear God. Yo, your eyes are doing it a little different to me right now, ma'am. And that is like the honesty we're talking about. Like literally, if you're able to come up to us and be like, you just walked in the room and I smelled your perfume and now I need to know what your name is, I'd be like, I get that. Yeah, I get that. My perfume's really strong. Hi, my name's Tatyana.
You're a dork. I completely understand. That's understandable.
Well, no, I think that was a little simpy.
A little simpy?
Yeah, are you gonna give me like one you'd actually say?
One I'd actually say?
Yeah.
The best pickup line I ever put on this joint. It was definitely, if I could change one thing about you, it'd be your last name.
That's good.
So
that's soft. Smooth. It's sweet.
Smooth. I want to.
How did you deliver it? What was it? What was happening?
Oh, I've never used a pickup. No, that's a lie. I've used the pickup lines and they've worked. Okay, hold up. And the one that okay, how about this one? You ready? This one cool. Okay, You running by, like, shorty walking by or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait, excuse me, you dropped some. And then she's like, what? You're like, my heart. And she's like, oh my gosh. And she turns around, she's like, oh my goodness. And it's pimping, because it works. I promise you.
I can see it working.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, delivery is everything.
Delivery
If
is
you
key.
deliver it and it's not like my homeboys dared me to say this to you, and I'm gonna do it right now. As long as it's not that, it should work.
No. Okay, wait. This one's a little. Well, I got two. I got one that you might like. Okay.
Okay.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I didn't know what perfect was until I met you.
It's just delivery.
Delivery?
I'd say that has potential.
That's pimping potential?
Simping.
Simping? Oh,
the
man,
roses are red, violets. It seemed to set up from that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, respectable. All right. Your legs are like an Oreo cookie. I want to split them and eat all the good stuff inside. Nah, your face was gold.
No, because
That's pimping. I'm not gonna cap to you. That's hey.
It's creative. It's creative. I'll give them that.
Okay.
It's creative. I think that definitely would have gotten a shocked See, okay, so if you deliver something like that to the point where you know it's a joke, you know it's corny, and you know you a dumbass, then after that, if you're able to be like, nah, I'm just playing. What's your name?
Yeah.
How are you? How you feeling? That is how you segue into that. Okay. Making a girl laugh, for sure. If you can make her laugh right off the bat, that's like the best way to open her up.
Okay.
Dang, I just know some of my girls. Like I'm soft, bro. Like I don't like just being mean to people, and I feel like I'm one of those people that will be nice to people catcalling me because I want to make it to my car. So it's so if a line comes to me, I'm very. Also, I don't really know who's ever really recognizing me and who's just like be complimenting me to be sweet, because a lot of people just compliment me to be like, you're pretty.
Yeah.
Actually, I shouldn't say a lot of people. Women do that. Okay. So I try not to just assume that men are trying to hit on me whenever they make these comments.
Okay. But
that's why it's just about the delivery. Like if you're saying it, I'm gonna hear it and be like, oh my god, thank you. And like me turning around, I'm either gonna sprint to my car or I'm gonna walk slowly with a little pizzazz in my hip to see if you gonna follow me with the move. So it's like it depends.
Get a little wobble in there,
yeah. Give a little heel moment, a little Beyonce walk moment.
Here's the corniest one I could think of that Jay liked. I didn't like. Jay's my other co-host, by the way.
Okay.
So if a guy's been staring at you all night, whatever, he walks up to you and be like, "Hey, if you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber." How you feel about that one?
That one's so dorky. I would have loved it.
Oh Lord!
Like I said, you would have had to follow it after to secure the bag, but it would have got you through the door. Because I would have been. I'm telling you, give me the line right now, and I'm gonna act it out as if you really just walked up to you. Ready?
Hey, excuse me. If you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber.
Thank you.
I can see that going exactly like that.
And then I'm gonna turn and be like, "Was that what we came up with?
Was that it?" No. See. Okay. We'll run it back.
Okay.
Ready? All right. Excuse me. If you was you look mean right now. Hey, go watch the video. I wouldn't even go up to her right now. She looks mean. She was not ready to talk to nobody.
My bad. Sorry, guys.
All right. Excuse me. If you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber. Hi, my name's David. I just wanted to come up to you. I need something to open. I would be like, whoa.
No, that's a salesman opening. Because you gotta. That is crazy. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
You look, my name's Dale. Like, that's what that gave just now. You can't.
What's happening? You seen them tweets that's like the dude in the pool and the girl inside. He's like, hey, I love Beyonce. My name's whatever. Like a white guy talking to a black guy. I'm like,
yep.
That's kind of the vibe.
But it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like delivery. If Connor came up to me and said that, I'd be like, oh, Connor.
That's cute.
Purr. That was
Thanks.
so cute.
Good try,
Didn't
good
know
try.
that's what you liked. Purr. Maybe I'll give you my number.
No, I think like the ones that you have to. You good? Okay.
Sorry, what?
Oh,
Go
you
ahead.
might have a whole bloopers episode. No cap. I might just pop that joint up. The ones that like, so one of the best ones actually that I would used, I would like run after a girl, right?
Mhm.
And like be like out of breath, be like, and be like, do you know CPR? Because you just took my breath away. You'd be like, oh, I thought she was actually hurting for a second. Like, and then I'm like, nah, I'm just playing with you. What?
And you've actually used that before.
Yeah, we did that.
How did that
Yeah,
go?
it went great.
Tell me how that went.
It went great. It went great. The girl was
give
like,
me
wait,
step
what's
by
wrong?
step.
Step by step. She stopped. She looked worried for a second. She was like, do you have
Mhm.
asthma? Do you have something? Like, but then she was just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Because after I did follow it up, I was like, oh, I think you're good looking. Could I get your number real quick? And then
Okay,
she was like, yeah, that was cute. Blah,
I'm
blah, blah.
telling you, it's all about the confidence to even go
Yeah.
up there with the performing line and then
performing
try to
line.
distribute it and then try to look for a reaction. Like all that, we don't experience that as much as we used to.
Yeah.
Like
So-
a lot of like the way that dudes used to come up to you it's not the same as it is now, and a lot of the approaches now are definitely more media based, but
Yeah.
it also depends on where you live. Like I grew up in my dating phase in high school. I was in a really just suburban neighborhood, no
Tight.
diversity, nothing going on. I thought I was a dork. I didn't get asked to the school dance. I didn't get asked to prom, none of
Yeah.
that. So it wasn't until my first time traveling outside of that state in my adult-ish, early teenager-ish form that I started to realize, like, it is the dudes where I live that aren't into me versus the other dudes everywhere else. Because I used to go to Florida, I used to go to Atlanta, I used to go to Texas. Bruh.
Brothers.
They was like, hello, where have you been? What's
Excuse
up?
me,
And
man.
exactly, and that's what they used to do. It's just no matter what they do, they saw you, they saw pretty, and it's immediately, hi, how are you?
Yeah, type. It's just
That is what well, I mean, maybe it still is, but it's only like that in the South a little bit.
Yeah.
And then even then, people are always like, dating in Atlanta is awful, dating in LA is awful. Well, it's definitely difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to everything. Like, I feel like people forget dating is supposed to be hard. You're not supposed to meet your match the first day in the game,
Yeah,
like,
for
for
sure.
sure. You're supposed to live, learn, grow, hurt, win, lose. It's a lot going on.
Yeah. This is
Yeah, if people stopped internalizing all their losses too, we'd all be a lot better for that.
like putting it on the next person type.
Yeah, like just allow, like, you know those people that are like, oh yeah, I got cheated on in like freshman year of high school, so until I was 35, I decided to hurt other people.
35 is wild.
You,
But
You
yeah.
know what? That was a dramatic number. Let's say like 26. Like
Okay.
we'll just put some
Okay.
random regular number.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, some people really allow that hurt to carry over into everything that they do, and it's like you have to get past that
Mm-hmm.
in
You have to
order for
find someone-
anything else to function.
Yeah. And that's something you have to like, I don't think it's the fact that it happened and it hurt you. It's something that you just need to communicate. Like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you acting this way? It's because of this. And that person, if it's that person for you, they're going to be like, oh, I understand. Like, let's work through this together. You don't have to just internalize that one thing. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So
I have to be
but-
willing to work on it too, though,
Yeah.
because I've met a lot of people who say they're willing to work and then just literally aren't there.
Yeah.
Like they're literally not. So it's a lot of everything, a lot of little factors.
Little factors.
That's why I always just say if it's meant to be, it's gonna be, and it's just gonna be. Like it's
Tight.
gonna align itself. It's gonna happen. There's gonna be no questions asked. There's gonna be no random stuff. At least once you go through all those heartbreaks, because you're not supposed to just keep getting heartbroken. You're supposed
Yeah.
to go through. Sorry, I'd say you're supposed to go through like 2, 3 heartbreaks, and like after that, if you're allowing the same behavior to be repeated in every situation, then you should be looking at what you're doing. Yeah, because you're supposed to live and learn and grow from everyone in your life. Like I don't think that anyone's put in your life to not inspire or strike some sort of question, some inspiration, some movement. Like anything. There's not a single person I could say to this day that did me dirty that didn't have a purpose in their dirtiness. Like, I know what lesson I was supposed to take from that, and I'm gonna throw all the other bullshit that came with it. Like, I'm gonna take. Just thank you.
Pick a juice.
And then exactly. So it's like it's supposed to be stuff like that for sure.
I like that. That's dope. Learn from your lessons, everybody. Don't their lessons. Oh, Justice calls it. He says lessons and blessings. So
lessons and blessings.
Yeah, lessons and blessings. Some people are putting your life as a blessing, something to help you out, but some people are putting your life to be lessons for real. Like you're supposed to learn from that experience, take that lesson,
and take it and grow. Or it's supposed to challenge you, and it's going to determine whether you're that girl or you're not, or you're that guy or not. Like it's because at the end of the day, no one has the power to end you at all, especially not romantically. No one romantically messing with you is going to mess up your entire life unless you allow it. Like you have to be honest and be true and be like, no, I let that happen. And when you have those moments suck so bad. That's why people don't have them, because you have to sit there and be like, man, my dumb ass.
This is me.
Saw that red flag from the beginning.
It's
a lot of
me.
people, exactly. A lot of people don't want to do that. And then once you do it, that's why whenever you heal from it and you learn from it, the next relationship is better. Because you looked for those red flags again and you didn't tolerate it, and now you're in a whole different category of human because you've never experienced it before, and now you're about to go through another experience, figure out what you like, what you don't like, and then go through it.
Factuals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with someone right now, and like that's literally how that felt. So like even right now, with hoping that everything goes as beautifully as it goes, you have to just be ready for that and be open to it, because otherwise the relationship's just not gonna work at all.
That's true. Look at you dropping the knowledge. She was ready for this. I'm not playing with her.
I love this. I have just started my own segment called Tea with Tati for my fan bases, where we're just gonna get in group chats and do this privately like every other week. Dope. So like I love doing this. My friends, I've been doing this with my friends, my family for years. Like
I'm mad we missed you. I should have messaged you when we was in LA. That would have been cold.
I mean, I could come to Arizona, but we could definitely set some stuff up. That's dope.
Most definitely, Hey, sound like we got a new regular. I like it. All right, let's So this next segment, it might be a quicker one, but it's called Switcheroo. So there are questions that guys get asked by girls that we don't know how to answer, right? Like, how do we answer this question? We've done, do I look fat in this dress? We've done, one about honesty, something like that. So I want you to tell me how, if you are the guy, I'm the girl, how do you answer this question?
I'm the guy.
Truthfully, while also being caring or whatever, right? So you're in bed with your girl, and she asks you, hey, would you still love me if I was a worm?
Oh my God, I literally have the answer for this. I made a whole TikTok about it and didn't post it.
Okay, what is the answer? Please drop it. Drop me the
Ready?
knowledge. Yeah.
I'm about to drop the knowledge for show. The only time that women ask those type of questions, actually, I won't generalize it because everyone has their own reasons, but most times it is because they are looking for you to say something to them. Like this is what we do when we're trying to set up the appreciation we need, if that makes sense. So what I've noticed is when men purposefully and intentionally set out to give their partner reassurance every day, every week, however it works for you, the women don't ask questions like that because you're already telling them on a daily basis how you're everything, and they're not even letting their minds get to that. A lot of times they get to those questions because they're already letting these insecure manifestations come up in their head, and they're just like, he like that. He did that. He did this. What if I was this? What if I was this? What if this? What if this? Those thoughts wouldn't even begin if you had already like assured that security in your partner. And it's not even a man-woman thing. Like it could totally be the other way, but everyone knows the joke is usually that way.
Sorry.
And it's because we want to hear it. Like we literally want to hear you say, we love you, we only want you, we only want this, I want this, I want this, I love this, I love this. Like we want to hear that. We want to hear you talk about it. We want to hear you just say it randomly and not even want a response from us. Like we need to hear it because it's how we understand. And I always like talk to my friends about it too, because I've always thought it was really funny how when women do that with each other, we know we're being dramatic. Like, we say it to each other. I have my friends in the other room, and she'll literally be like, so you guys hate me. You guys hate me because you don't want me to go get popcorn with you. Like, that's what you want. And then we literally just have to sit there and be like, babe, we've literally known you for 5 years. We love you to death. Get your ass in the car. Like, it's stuff like that. So it's like, it's little goofy moments that we just, at the end of the day, we really just want to hear you say, girl, I'm obsessed with you. I love everything about you. I literally want to kiss you right now. Like, that is what we are looking for whenever those things happen. And you guys, not you guys, men fail the test. They fail the test. Because
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say yes. I would not love a worm. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. But if I said, okay, baby, I love you. I love everything about you. You're perfect. Like, I want no one else. But if you were a worm, I'm sorry. It's done. Like, is that a bad answer?
So once you say that answer, she should be able now to be like, oh, ha ha ha, oh my God, like little cute whatever reaction she needed from it, and move on. If you could tell that there's still a little something like weird with how you answered it when you know you answered it in a good, like, appreciative, upbeat way. Now you're dealing with your partner's insecurity manifesting in their head.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, that's how I would say, like, that is how that is. Because if you know you're going about how you need to go about it with reassurance, and, like, whenever they ask those questions, you're like, baby, you true, or you like, girl, I'd beat you up if you was a pile of dog shit, like, whatever. I don't know, however people would be hyping up those little stupid questions. Once you do all that and they're still sitting there like, there's something else in their head, and that's a whole different conversation that y'all need to have. So yeah, there's a good way to answer it. Just hyping them up. They just be wanting to hear it. Like, that's literally it.
Okay, hype them up, fellas. Like, hype that worm up. Hype that little.
Hype the worm up is crazy. Nah, that's really it. That's it.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, wait. Before I ask my last question, do you have any questions that you want to throw out?
Why? No, I don't know, because I be simplifying shit in my head, if that makes sense. Like whenever I want to ask questions, I'm just like, that's not even really a question to ask, because the human race is all different and everyone's different, and somebody's gonna do this right one day. Yeah, so I don't know. I used to have a lot of questions. I mean, I'd say, why do you think then that it is so hard to be honest in relationships? Like, and that's in a really in a really upfront way, because I do feel like a lot of times people need to be honest with themselves and just saying that they want to be able to get what they want from a person without doing what they're supposed to do, versus and owning up to that being what they want, and they don't want to own up to that because it means they're a bad person. Because that means you're literally purposely setting out to manipulate somebody. Yes, so literally. Do you think that people need to start becoming more woke with their emotions, or that's like a dead end, because at the end of the day, figuring out your emotions is all going to stem from how you were raised and brought up and how you heal from your family's trauma, if there is any, or if people are just being literal assholes sometimes because you're grown, you have social media, and you know what doing dirt is. Like, there's no one that could say now at any grown age that they do not know what they do to people, because we sit there and complain and fight about it back and forth on social media, and we've been doing it for 3 years, and everybody's been on their phone for 3 years because COVID. So I always say that too. I don't understand the excuses anymore. Like, if as a society we're getting up every day and talking about these problems in the same way and having similar opinions, yet nothing's happening and you're still confused, like, what do you think it is? What do you think is going to be something that makes us figure out how to talk to each other as humans in order to even do this relationship stuff? Because you're supposed to be able to date. You're supposed to be able to have fun. Like, I don't know when they start. What is up with Lori Harvey's mess? She is literally living her life, being beautiful, and living her life. Like, that's literally it.
That's all she's doing.
She's been dating someone new with months in between each time. And people are not ready to be like, you know what? Honestly, I'm just tired of seeing her face in the media, and whenever I see it, it's a new person. You're seeing a new issue every 4 months. Duh, it's a new person. Like, you want her to sit there and be sad about the same dude for a year? so you can call her a sad girl? Like, no, she's gonna go and just continue existing because it's literally her breathing life.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, I don't know. That was a lot of thoughts, but what do you think?
No, I get you. I feel that with her situation, it's different. Like you said, with people in the spotlight, like it's just because she's in the spotlight, people are always gonna have something to say. But she's just being a regular person. This is it happens. Everybody they date, she's taking the time or whatever to heal. Like even if she's not, if she finds someone else, like it's her life, it's her decision. Like if it's someone she wants to pursue, why miss out on the opportunity? So it's like that. But I think I agree with you. I don't think it's ever gonna fix because people, especially like people that have gotten away with it, know that they can manipulate people and get away with it, you know? Like they guys aren't happy with one girl, girls aren't happy with one guy. If they can have more and they know they can have more, like why not? I think that's the problem. It's like politicians. Like y'all are living great lives, like have all this money, all this stuff, but you want more? Like why? It doesn't make any sense at all. So I think people just need to learn. I think that's it. People need to learn to be satisfied with what they have and like realize they have a good thing, you know, before they do too much and ruin it.
Okay, so next question, ready?
Go ahead,
ready?
jump in.
Do you think it's possible to do that when now we live in an age where you can see the top 50 baddest bitches in every country at the tip of your fingertips?
That's true.
Do you think that now we will even ever be able to grasp the concept of this is enough when we've seen so much of the world and know? Also, our parents have been telling us since we were young, especially since a lot of people grow up in these divorced homes and families, like people do not believe in true love anymore, which is like fine. You don't have to believe it's magic. Like you don't have to believe there's some fairy tale behind it, but people are forgetting that you can literally create genuine solid connections with other human beings, and it's not like, oh, you have to get married. No, it's literally you just have to be nice to this person that you said you love. Like that's it. You just have to be nice to them. Because
besides like the physical aspect of it, think about like jumping from like person to person, like person to person. Besides the physical aspect, you're gonna want the same thing out of that one person, and that person that you were with the first time could have provided that, but because you went into like your worldly desires of wanting to be with somebody physically, like you're trying to get this new person to provide what the old person already provided for you. You feel? So it's like that. I think that's the hump. You just need to, like I said, be satisfied. I don't think it's impossible. I think there are definitely people that, like, I think it just has to flip in your head. Like there's always gonna be someone that you can find more attractive, whether your partner might be the top model in the world, whatever, but one day you're just feeling, oh, maybe I want a brunette, or maybe I want like it just flips in your head, like that girl over there, she got the BBL, she looking good right now, whatever. That don't
I feel like
another time. But like you might see that and be like okay, that's physically attracted to me right now, like in my head I want that this way, but like what do I want here and what do I want here that'll keep me sustained, you know? And
then that comes to trying to, but then like you said, what do I want?
Yeah.
Now people have to go back into themselves, and that's why I'm saying, like, if people realize once you get yourself solid, everything else will work. Because if you're sitting there, you don't know what you want, you don't know what you like, you don't know what you do like, but you're telling this one person that you're going to be forever, then you're just lying. You're just, because you don't know what that is. Like, you have no idea what that even slightly looks like. And I believe what you said, the flipping the switch, that is very true, and it's totally okay for that to be a thing if you communicate. If you know that you have no clue and everything's up in the air, and you keep telling everybody that everything's up in the air for you, then you're not doing anything wrong, because you're telling everybody, I don't know what I want at all. Don't expect anything from me at all.
Yeah.
So everyone has that little phase where they're like, I don't know, and then everyone has that saying of, when he's ready, he's going to be ready for it all.
Yeah.
Is that switch? The switch where they're just randomly like, oh, I just want to settle down? Because some people would say like, oh, that's the settle down switch. That's the I'm done being a hoe switch. That's the I'm done being in the street switch. Or
I think that's one of the switches, but I don't think that switch is necessarily the one that will make like that person be more loyal or more faithful, all that stuff. I think that switch, not necessarily is caused by it's caused by a person you meet. You feel me? Like it's not by It's not by, oh, I'm getting old. Like, I need to get married now. Like, I'm ready to settle down. It's time to start having my kids. It's caused by, I want this girl, like, by my side, whatever I do. Everybody else is insignificant type. When you have that, like, thought or feeling, that's the only time I would think of jumping in a relationship. You know,
So
like
when you're
after,
ready, you're ready. Like
yeah,
when you
when you're
see
ready,
it and you want it and you're ready,
exactly.
you feel it.
Yeah, and that's something you have to be truthful with, like you said, truthful with yourself. If you think you feel that thing, but then like you like see it, but then a girl walk by and you like go like this a little bit, it's like, are you ready? Are you really ready? Though?
Be for real.
Be for real. Like, are you ready? Think about it for a second, and then that's when you have to like go with yourself. But if that's a decision you make, then like you said, you just have to stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
That person, you just have to be nice to that person and make sure both people are happy in that scenario.
Yeah.
So, but
there's truth to that for sure.
Yeah, our society is definitely one that will take. I don't know if we'll ever get there. Honestly, it's gonna be hard because of.
I don't even know if it's a place to even get to, because it's always been what it has been, and I do think another thing that people forget is like how things used to be back in the days. Like, let's not forget, a lot of us didn't have rights 100 years ago, so including women as just an existence. Like, that was literally a thing at one point. We were literally like, wives was the only goal at one point. So even if we wanted to say like, oh, true love doesn't exist anymore, there were a lot of situations back in the day where people just thought marriage was marriage and it was a contract. It was something you're supposed to do when you got to a certain age. It's how you settle down. It's how you live life. And then a bunch of people were forcing themselves into boxes that they knew that they didn't want to be in because they thought society, like, that's what was necessary. Which is what I think is kind of my theory towards like why divorce rates are so big, is because when you have this generation of getting woke and then learning how to live for yourself, learning how to be independent, you're no longer going to look at marriage as something that's necessary to survival.
That's very true.
But that
like you're fine by yourself.
Exactly. But the thing is, marriage was never supposed to be viewed as something necessary to your survival. It was supposed to be viewed as two people falling in love with each other. So if everyone started off with marriage is two people falling in love with each other, we would not have all these issues.
That's true. It's not about. That's crazy because, like you just said, I feel like back in the day, it was more like, all right, you got this role, I got this role, we finna rock out.
And it was necessary back in the day, because
exactly,
you literally, women could not function without dudes, like, at all.
Yeah, and then nowadays, I feel like it's more people. A lot of people get married so they're not lonely. You know, it's not always, I'm in love with this person. It's like, I want someone by my side, so I'm not alone and I can start this family that I always dreamed of, and blah 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 blah.
And that's a selfish thing though when you think about it. Like, if you're only literally forcing someone to be with you for eternity because you're ready to sit down and have someone take care of you, that's not why you should be doing that. You should be finding someone else that is going to match you, and you guys do that for each other and just build a lovely life together. Like, that is what it's supposed to do. So when people forget that the goal is supposed to be happiness and love, you're not going to get the right outcomes. Like, it's just, you're not going to get
work out.
anything you're supposed to get. You're going to get the kids that don't see their parents fall in love with each other because y'all was dead ass never in love. Like, it's literally that. So stuff like that. There's a bunch of, I mean, of course we can get into, there's a whole bunch of cultures that do that, you know, arranged marriage. That's a whole other conversation. I'm literally like a West Indian. So it's like, I know that there are those sides of the world too. But there's still truth in those matters as well. So it's just, when people are ready to be honest with themselves, the dating game will just get so much easier. Just period, point bait. When everyone's ready to be honest with themselves, everyone's going to be happier. Because then the people who just want to do it and be done will do it and be done. There are so many girls that don't want to be in relationships too. Like, guys assume women are just relationship creatures. I have so many friends that wish men would stop asking them to be their girlfriend. You guys should find each other. You guys should find each other. You guys should find your hookup, find your friend with benefits, find your, like, wherever you want to go, take yourself there. Stop trying to force it just because you see a cute face and you're like, no, nope, whatever this is, I want this one and we're going to make it happen. That's not how that's supposed to go. It's not how it's supposed to go. So, yeah.
I like that. Hey, pick and choose, like, leave the nice girl alone. Go get not leave the girl that's ready for a relationship alone. You don't always have to go for that one.
Do you believe some dudes be saving girls for later?
Oh, most definitely. But I think also some girls do. That's why.
No,
nice
for
guys
sure.
first
You're
night.
right. For sure. Yeah, both sides, for sure. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm always very big on we need to stop saying men versus women. I just know most of your questions are men versus women.
You're coming back on the
questions.
podcast for sure. Talk your talk.
It's human versus human, y'all. Like
It's human versus
it's humans. It's us in society working with each other. We have to live with each other. We have to coexist.
Yeah.
Stop making it men view women. It's just it. Yeah.
It's just it is what it is. But okay, actually, I do think this one is
Okay.
something that only y'all can do. All right.
Okay.
Next question. So don't trip. We got you real quick. All right. What is something that girls do to get their way with guys?
Oh, okay.
Don't trip.
We got it. Okay,
Yep,
so
go
there's.
Yep. I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
What do you mean?
I told you.
No, you
I
say
told
it
you I was
first.
ready for it.
You say it first. What do you think I'm going to say?
Oh, what is it? The Google eyes or something? The bobble eyes, the puppy dog eyes, doe eyes. Doe eyes. Go ahead, Miss Tatyana. Go ahead.
Did you go on my TikTok?
I saw that one. I told you I have
Okay.
one ready for you.
Okay, that's hilarious. I knew that was the one too. Okay.
See, but I didn't watch it though. I just saw the title, and that's how I wanted you to run this real quick.
Got you. So, well, not referring to exactly what you're talking about, but there definitely for sure. There's a bunch of tactics that they use. I would say the only tactics that work though are just, how would I explain this? Okay, so there's body language, there's touching, there's eye contact, there's things you could do with your face, but I have noticed that most of women's methods has to do with what they have on them, if that makes sense. So if they're trying to get their way, I've noticed it's very much in the eyes, it's in the words that they use, it's how they deliver the words, it's maybe how they touch your shoulder while they say it, maybe they prepare the whole day, make sure like you've been taken care of all day, about to ask the question. Like there's a lot of different ways to go about it. But I do think that guys do the same thing. They just do it in a different direction. So if you're on the same path, and the path is how do I get what I want? They both walking down that path. They're just doing it a little different, and it's gonna get to the same place eventually. So with eyes, for example, there's the doe eyes versus siren eyes. Have you heard that debate?
I don't know what siren eyes are. I do. Okay, go ahead.
So there's always been words for this. It's basically seduction eyes. It's just the innocent puppy eye versus the mistress seduction eyes, if that makes sense. So it's the low look of like, I want you now versus do you want me now? Like type shit. So there's definitely power behind those things, but it's like you have to allow it to work. So we're not on like some trippy shit. Like we know it works, and for some reason it just doesn't. But those are the keys to communicating with other humans in general. So when you know how to play them and flaunt them in the ways that work for you, that's all you need. Like once I realized that I was more doe eyes and siren eyes, I was like, okay, interesting. So I just had to make more eye contact with people. And then I was like, wait, eye contact has been something that people have noticed about me my entire life. And then I was like, wait, my eyes are powerful as fuck. I've been making people uncomfortable my whole life. Like, what is that? And I kid you not, this is exactly how I figured it out, because I started making videos and people started to say like, Tati, the way you look at the camera, like the way you do this. And I used to be like, I'm not doing shit. What are y'all talking about? Once I started to actually play into that, because remember I didn't like date in high school. I wasn't really, I was military family, wasn't allowed to like really be turning up for real. So I didn't like start exploring all this until like I was in college basically. So once I started to realize that and play with it, I was like, holy crap, like this is literally a thing. Like when you make someone feel comfortable with your demeanor, you open them up to anything you want. Yeah. But that's with anybody. Like men do it too. That is with anybody. Because I see that they just look down.
And you look down instead of up.
And they know exactly what's going on with it. They know exactly what's
not exactly. Sometimes I mean it's not always.
No, there's.
And then what's it called? You seen
Go ahead.
You seen Tangled, right?
Yeah.
The little smolders. I feel like everyone got a different smolder. You feel me? Like I've been told that I've smolder and I don't even know I'm smoldering. Like it's just. And I think it's usually when I get something I want or want something.
I have a look
Really?
They've told me I've had a look. My friends tell me it too. They don't tell me anymore because I don't like just give out the look anymore. We had a moment this year. But anyways, when it first started happening and I started to go out to the outside more, like flirt with people as I'm walking through the street type shit, like I really started to do I can feel it. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but I literally feel the look come out because I feel it in me.
I feel
and then I feel it go to whoever I look at. And then I feel them feel the energy. And I know that sounds so like dumb, but it's really much like a transmission of energy. Like I'm seeing you, you're seeing me. We're waiting for one of us to see each other so we can create this moment or not. And it has to happen at the same time. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. There's tension in those little moments. And I think if a lot of people open themselves up to their emotions, they would feel a lot of those moments a lot more intimately and be a little smarter about how they distribute them. Yeah. But regardless, once I started to realize that, and my friends used to be like, Tati, why did you look at him like, like my friends used to be like, you did not just make that look like, because my friends would see it and immediately deem Tati wants him. Like she's making it happen. She's gonna find a way to make it happen. And I just be like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? What are we talking about? Tati, you know what you did.
You know what you did.
What are we talking about? And you know exactly what it is. So it's an energy, bro. Like it's an energy. And whether that be through your hands, through your touch, like what's the thing that dudes like? Dudes like the arms thing that girls do. That we know that it's a thing that works. Like it's a weakness. Just like you guys know the little neck is a thing, the little lower waist is a thing. You know the trend where like, oh, guys when they're trying to walk past you, they put their hand on the waist. Back. They do that because they know it works on some of them. Yeah. They just have to hope you're cute enough. Yeah, you have to hope you're cute enough in order for it to work. That's literally it. Otherwise, they know it works. Like, they know it works.
Lord.
Yeah, there's a lot, though. What else? Like, they lighten their voices. They talk slower. They might make it a little higher or lower. They bite the lip. They, lick the lip. You know the whole have you heard the triangle method?
I did see that. I've seen it. But
yeah, I don't really think that is the method. I think people just forget that eye contact is everything. Like it's literally that. If people grew up with the same morals I did, eye contact would come a lot easier to them. Because when I grew up, my parents were very like, you look someone in the eye when they're talking to you. You look me in the eye when you're talking to. You look to authority figures in the eye when you're talking to. You want people to know that you're aware when you are in the moment. So I literally had to learn how to do that from a young age. And my teachers used to tell me that made them uncomfortable because none of their other students did it. My friends used to be like, Tati, why are you staring so hard? I used to be like, girl, you're talking. You're literally talking. You're telling me a story. Am I not supposed to look at you while I'm telling you a story? And once I started to realize how unusual that was, I was like, bro, I have power. Because I used to see my teachers get uncomfortable with me in the classroom, bro. Yeah. Like, I'd be sitting there. They'd be literally explaining fractions. And I'd just be... And they just...
What's wrong with this child?
Exactly. And they'll tell me after class, like, oh, did you get the stuff in class? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, you were just staring really hard. Yeah. Girl, you at the board. What are we supposed to be doing?
Like, you up? Wait, would you consider yourself an alpha or a beta?
I would consider myself I don't know. I would consider what's like the female translation of those? Because I know what it means for dudes.
I thought it was the same for both.
I feel like women don't use that whenever they are talking unless they have a masculine image that they're trying to prove. Like, okay. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I've always described certain things that I do as like, oh, that's me just taking care of business. Because if I don't do it, who's gonna do it? Like someone has to do it. I've been by myself for a while, so I'm gonna do it. But once I got in a really healthy relationship, or I'm around men that actually put in effort to make sure the women are taken care of in the room, you'll sit back. I'm beta as fuck. Like, you're alpha beta. You're an alpha beta. Okay. Yeah, I'd say submissiveness comes with energy, and if you make me feel like you can actually take care of the room when I'm in it, then I'm gonna let you take care of it. I just don't get that feeling often.
Guys, I can tell when that happens too, and it's like, yeah, got her. Guys are definitely like not meaner, but like mean to girls that they're into. Like, I just want to bully you, but like it's because I just want to like squeeze you at the same time, you know? Like I'm
What
not
do you
I'm
think
not
that
doing
is? What do you?
I don't know. I think it's how we talk to everybody else, you know? Cuz if it's one of my best friends, one of my boys, I'm not coddling you. I'm not being, "Hey man, do you want a drink? Hey man." I'm gonna be like, "Hey, stupid head, what you want? Like we finna go eat?" Like it's how someone that's important to me, I'm finna treat everybody that important to me kind of like that. And that's kind of just like that's how we know how to express it. So that's how it comes out until I think it's easier once you find a girl and you actually start to get to know her. Then she starts being soft. You're like, oh, I could do that soft thing too. I don't always have to call you a loser.
I don't always have to call you a loser.
other routes. Like, but growing up, it's like, how do I get this girl's attention? Like, I know this will get her attention for sure. Like, let me chuck this rock. So but
no, I feel it. I think there's a little adventure to all of it, because I know a lot of funny like love stories that have started off with some weird thing happening in a random place, and they happen to be their like lifelong partner. Like everything doesn't have to be sweet, but that's just being open to the experience, I guess. Because I understand that the wanting to be like mean, but I'm not like, okay. Here's how I'll say it. I never grew up wanting to be mean to people that I liked. And I know a lot of people that did. And I will say that what I've noticed is a lot of those people that did grow up with the wanting to be mean first or dealing with people mean first whenever they like you, that matched their upbringing. Because my parents literally used to tell me, beat anyone's ass who is being mean to you.
Okay.
Period, point blank. Like hatred or like little mean jokes was never a normalized thing in my house. Like me and my brother, we weren't even allowed to play fight. We weren't allowed to cuss at each other.
Facts.
We weren't allowed to talk mean to each other. Like, and we were actually scared of our parents, because of course all parents have like, you know, those little rules. But when it came to respect and actually listening to our parents, me and my brother, once we got in trouble twice, we was done. We was like, no, we're about to get messed up. We have to stop this now. So, we grew up not play fighting, not even play wrestling. Whenever we was like, we weren't allowed to say stupid. We weren't allowed to say idiot. We weren't allowed to say lame.
We grew up in the same house. What was your curfew?
Throughout high school or like ever? Curfew in high school?
because it's still in play right now.
Curfew in high school was like 9, 10, 9.
Okay.
It was like because sports though. So like if it was like once the sports were done, you pretty much got to be in the crib unless you got some like after school activity or something. Yeah. Okay. No, they were like that though. So it was just whenever I liked someone, it was always like, hi, how are you? What's up? How you doing? It was always really positive, sweet, like, oh my God, I like you. I like your face. I like your energy.
See, that's opposite. If I liked a girl and she was in class, I'd be like, yo, you don't like, she'd like be doing her, I'd be like, hey, why you write like that? Like, is that how, like, you always write like that?
You know what's
be
funny?
Something like,
if a dude said that to me, I'd literally be like, why are you always mean to me? Like, I'd literally be like, can I help you? Like, get the fuck on. Why are you always mean to me? And I wouldn't have taken it as flirting until you were like, I flirt with you because I'm angry because I flirt with you, like, I like you. And then I would have been like, how the hell was I supposed to know that? Like, literally.
Okay, respectable. But I mean, I wouldn't be like I wouldn't.
No, I know.
Yeah. I see. But,
no, I've noticed a category of guys that still do that at a very grown age, and I actually stopped talking to them on purpose. Like, I literally was like, I've noticed that this is something that doesn't work for me unless they lighten up on the aggressiveness. So if I notice they're not lighting up, I need to leave it alone, because something in their love language is hit cute. Hit cute. Hit's not cute to me. Don't hit me. So it's little stuff like that.
Oh, Christ.
Damn, there's so much. There's always so much to all
there
this
is.
stuff. This is the type of stuff I sit on live with my people and just sit and talk about.
That's dope. I'm gonna have to tap in on a live. But shoot, Tati, this was our longest episode ever. I like it.
You think you're gonna put the whole thing up?
I'm gonna put the whole thing up. Like, because some podcasts be talking for like 2 hours. I'm like, how do they do that? But hey.
No, it's easy. I'll literally be on live for like 3-4 hours at a time just chatting.
That's cold. 3-4 hours is crazy. Hey, I'll tap in for like 5 minutes though. You know, I got you. It's but hey, I really appreciate you coming on. This was dope. Hey, if you're down, we will definitely have you on again. Hopefully we can make something happen live and in person, even with my other guest star. But yeah, this was dope. She had so much opinion. She had so many things. Make sure y'all go support her, all her whatever endeavors. She's gonna be on the big screen soon. She's gonna be doing all these things. We're speaking into existence and all that stuff. But thanks for tapping in for this episode. If you listen to this whole thing and y'all like longer episodes, y'all might actually If you'll listen to this, leave us 5 stars, leave us all the ratings, all that stuff. Go follow everything. But we're gonna keep dropping content for y'all, bringing on new stuff. This is a new year. Bigger things.
Woo!
Woo, for real. Hey, only good vibes this year. Only good vibes. But thank you. Do you have any closing statements for the people?
Love is love. Go where your heart is happy. Protect yourselves and be open to life. Because at the end of the day, you're literally gonna be here for at least 50 years. I promise you, whatever boy hurt your heart last week is not gonna last forever. Let's get on our 2 toes. Let's find some passions. Let's find some cuter faces. We gonna find it. Literally. But thank you for having me. This was fun. I actually liked it. Whenever I do longer form videos, they always do better. To be honest. So if my fans come and find this,
I heard your fans is like an army. I heard you got an army.
They are. No, I love them. Them kids is mine. They're mine.
I'm finna.
Mine.
Yeah, we'll chop it up later. But no, I appreciate it. Hopefully, yeah. If you have more time, we will definitely have you back on. And if you have any, we'll talk later. But hey, sorry, let me cut y'all off. Thanks for listening. Tapping on everything. Don't trip.
Yes.
We got you.
We got you. Thank you.